I get clients who are not able to conceive because of excess weight. आपका जो pre-pregnancy weight है, that could lead to all the complications that might come during pregnancy, all the gestational diabetes and preeclampsia and all that comes with your excess weight. Sperm count, the quality of the sperm, the mortality of the sperm is also equivalently important. Nutrient wise, yes, there are few nutrients, very important nutrient is zinc and selenium. बाकी ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं होता है कि ये खाओगे तो गोरा बच्चा होगा, बैंगन खाने से काला होगा. Hello and namaste. This is your friend and diet Sonia Pawa again from Nine and Beyond. Most welcome to all our lovely pregnant ladies, planning pregnancy couples, and people who have joined our family of wellness. A warm welcome to you all. And as promised, हम लोग बार बार आते रहेंगे, आपकी knowledge बढ़ाते रहेंगे, and we will keep helping you in your journey, which is very, very important part of your life. और आज की इस journey में हमारे साथ में आए हैं a बहुत famous nutritionist from Ahmedabad, Mrs. Shweta Nagar. And for your information, she is master's in nutrition. She started her career working with VLCC for a few years and then branched out on her own, organizing her own organization called Vitazia. Now, बस ये वर्ड ही आपको सब कुछ समझा देगा इनके न्यूट्रिशन और लाइफ के बारे में और इनके करियर के बारे में. वीटा एज पर हर इज लाइफ एंड जिया इज लाइफ में. सो जो आपकी लाइफ को लाइटन अप करे, उसको ब्राइट करे, दैट्स व्हाट शी इज हियर फॉर. अ वेरी वार्म वेलकम टू यू श्वेता जी. एन ऑनर कि आप हमारे पास आए हो आज ये बात करने के लिए हमारे से. सो टू बिगिन विद, कंसिडरिंग हम लोग प्रेगनेंसी के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं एंड बीइंग अ मदर, we can clearly see you कि आपने कितना ब्यूटीफुली अपने आप को नर्चर किया हुआ इन चीज़ों में. आप एक बात बताएं कि ये जो प्रेगनेंसी के लिए जो न्यूट्रिशन का जर्नी है, should it start much before conceiving? Yes, at least 3 months before you plan to conceive. There are few nutrients, especially folic acid and calcium, which you should start early. क्योंकि जो भी मैक्सिमम आपके जो सेरेब्रल लेवल के जो कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस जो बच्चों में डेवलप होते हैं, फीटस में डेवलप होते हैं, दैट डेवलप्स इन द फर्स्ट 28 days ऑफ कंसेप्शन. ओके, सो एंड मोस्टली फीमेल्स को या मतलब हमें पता ही चलता है आफ्टर 28 days भी आपने एक साइकिल मिस की है तभी तो हमें पता चलता है दैट वी आर प्रेग्नेंट, राइट? So that one first 20 days are crucial for your fetal growth. That is the reason I always suggest my patients, pregnant females, to have folic acid before 3 months of planning the pregnancy. Okay. And at least 0.4 milligram per day should be enough. And for calcium, it should be at least 1000 milligram per day. ये पहले लेना शुरू करना चाहिए. Okay. And even their nutritionist diet should start. So see, diet the planning stages. So initially during the first trimester, there are no much changes. If your diet is well balanced since the day one, and yes, if your diet is really bad, you're not into that good lifestyle and all, then yes, you should start it before 3 months. I get clients who are not able to, conceive because of excess weight. Okay. Or maybe they are planning to conceive and they are here that I want to lose 10, 12 kgs, 15 kgs first and then conceive. So I always guide my clients that if you're overweight, first lose the 10, 15 kgs and with the right balanced diet and exercise, and then plan your pregnancy. Because आपका जो pre-pregnancy weight है, that could lead to all the complications that might come during pregnancy, all the gestational diabetes and preeclampsia and all that comes with your excess weight. So yes, diet and all starts before 3 months. Before 3 months. Yes. So the point to learn here is that it's always nice to plan a pregnancy. Yes. Of course, accidents happen, but that's okay. Yeah. But generally, an Ajki generation is quite conscious. Yes. They do plan their pregnancies, which is a very, very nice thing to do. And considering we are talking about women, is it as important for the partner also to take care of nutrition before? Yes, planning pregnancy, absolutely. Because the sperm count, the quality of the sperm, the mortality of
the sperm is also equivalently important. When talking about pregnancy, most of the time female पे push डाला जाता है. बिल्कुल. Right? Males को no doubt अभी तो काफी awareness है. Males also go for their sperm count and quality check. Doctors also suggest that. But they don't take it so seriously. And maximum male, I would say, female may be hair stress, but males are two-way more stressed in terms of their work, job and all that. Right. फीमेल और मेल में डिफरेंस क्या है? फीमेल को स्ट्रेस का सहारा अल्कोहल सिगरेट्स नहीं लेते हैं. हाँ. Males are more into alcoholism and cigarette smoking and all that. Right. जिसकी वजह से sperm count and all that, even stress, it impacts the sperm count and quality and mortality of it. So for that, first thing is to manage the stress in case of men. Right. Nutrient-wise, yes, there are a few nutrients. Very important nutrient is zinc and selenium. What is that? Zinc. Okay. Mineral zinc and selenium. Especially for men? Yes, especially for men. So zinc is basically for improving the quality and the count. Okay. Count of the sperm. Okay. And selenium is more towards the quantity of the sperm. Okay, right. So there are good beans, and if you're a non-vegetarian, good non-veg, good fish and meat will have good amount of zinc and selenium. So that should be very much into their diets. Another very unknown substance I would call is coenzyme Q10. Okay, and that's a substance basically वो energy conversion में use होता है, but it has an antioxidant property that kills the free radicals. तो आप जैसे स्मोकिंग में है या if you're into alcoholism or if you're like pollution तो सब जगह है ही, right? So adding that kind of a supplement, right, even for a female who has undergone an IVF, who is planning and conceiving through IVF, they should also add this coenzyme Q10. It helps for the better journey. And even preconception, it helps.
This is basically जो आप बात कर रहे हो men के लिए. Don't you think that एक particular age में इन लोगों को इस चीज का ध्यान रखना चाहिए?
Yes, so men के केस में तो इतना वो नहीं है, because if you're healthy overall, it won't impact. मतलब okay, we all know that men has the capacity. Female का 35 के बाद, I know the complications, chances of getting all that complications increases. Although if they are fit, they can still conceive after 35 and 40 as well. Right. But overall अगर healthy lifestyle है, तो not an issue. But if you are already you are aware that मेरा lifestyle इतना अच्छा नहीं है, and now I want to start planning for a baby. So 3 months पहले these supplements and adding up, so 3 vitamins is what I normally tell my male clients to add into their plan is vitamin A, C, and E. Okay. And you'll get with lots of fruits and vegetables. So your diet should be comprised of good fiber and fruits and vegetables. Colorful होना चाहिए, right?
So आप basically ये जो चीजें suggest कर रहे हो, supplements, they are only through nutrition or through supplements?
Through nutrition. Only coenzyme Q10, like अगर आप non-vegetarian है, even vegetarian है या vegan है, okay, is when I suggest that आपको कुछ ना कुछ supplements, coenzyme Q10 you will not get from the vegetarian food. So okay, there are many combinations available in the market. If you're vegan or vegetarian, you can find some enzyme supplement, multivitamin supplement with coenzyme Q10.
Okay.
You will find that.
Even something, this is for us also, this is one department. Honestly, every time a pregnancy was spoken about, हम लोग बहुत आराम से बोल देते हैं आजकल, it's the couples who get pregnant, right? Which is the fact.
Yes, it is.
But उसकी implication and involving and taking care of the man involved, honestly, ये पिछले 2 podcast से awareness आ रही है that the postpartum depression comes in male also.
Yes.
जो कभी कोई बात ही नहीं करता था, so nobody was really taking care of the partner. उनको खाली responsibilities दे दी जाती थी.
Yes.
And now you're talking about such an important part of the supplements, which is like, so I think it's a very nice thing that you supportive partners. See, देखिए हम लोग आप लोगों का भी ख्याल रख रहे हैं. So please support properly each other and have a nice healthy journey with each other towards pregnancy and parenthood. So keeping all this in mind, what should be the kind of nutrition fundamentals for the pregnancy journey? Let's put it like that.
So I normally keep it very simple. I don't nutrition पे focus नहीं होता है मेरा. It is, as I always say, when you ask me about a nutritional suggestion, I will always say balanced diet. राइट मुझे सब क्लाइंट बोलते हैं मैडम आपके पास कोई भी क्वेश्चन लेके आते हो आप आंसर एक ही देते हो बैलेंस डाइट वो राइट सो बैलेंस डाइट इज द की so what I normally divide is first thing I always ask them to keep diversity in the program I mean whatever you're following add all 5 6 group 7 group food groups जो अपने हैं डाइवर्सिफाई करो अपने डाइट को एड ऑल हर एक ग्रुप में से हर एक एक न्यूट्रिएंट आना एक इंग्रेडिएंट आना ही चाहिए हर एक ग्रुप में से दैट इज द फर्स्ट थिंग दैट कवर्स द बैलेंस सो व्हेन यू टॉकिंग अबाउट ग्रुप यू टॉकिंग अबाउट carbs proteins fats vitamins minerals water everything right so water again I keep it separate but when we talk about macro and micronutrients there has to be a diversified this thing now अगर एशियंस का अपना देखें इंडियंस का डाइट देखें right it is very centralized towards roti sabzi dal rice खा लिया या रोटी सब्जी खा लिया they won't be so yes Maharashtrian as we were talking they have a complete thali Gujarati also have a complete thali right they will make sure that there is curd and little probiotic prebiotic everything is there in their diet so that kind
And
of
they also
diversity.
roti and chawal together.
Yeah,
Right?
so that's a myth that you should not be having roti and rice
Yeah,
together.
which is such a huge thing. कि यार roti खाओ या चावल खाओ.
No, so it's like you have to do a portion control if you're trying to club with roti and rice. And yes, it's also about the kind of carb that you club together. So it totally depends upon your goal. If you are pregnant and you want to have a complete meal, you can definitely have a complete meal. So that is where I talk about more about diversity. Second, I talk about moderation. Okay, so moderation में is like मैंने जैसे बताया आपको कि प्रेग्नेंट है तो खा दो की जगह दो के लिए खाना है तुझे बच्चे के लिए भी खाना है खुद के लिए भी खाना है दिस इज द बिगेस्ट मिथ एंड फर्स्ट ट्राइमेस्टर जो फर्स्ट 3 मंथ्स है उसमें तो कुछ भी चेंज करने की जरूरत नहीं आपको सिर्फ बैलेंस डाइट लेना है आपको 2 जने के खाने की जरूरत नहीं आपका फीटस इज जस्ट अ साइज ऑफ अ ग्रेप सो आपको वो 2 रोटी की जगह 4 रोटी खाने की जरूरत नहीं है आप 2 रोटी ही खाइए थर्ड सेकेंड एंड थर्ड ट्राइमेस्टर इज व्हेन योर नीड इंक्रीजेस एंड दैट इज द कैलोरी नीड अबाउट 350 से 450 तक में आपको बढ़ानी होती है फर्स्ट सेकेंड ट्राइमेस्टर में 350 एंड थर्ड ट्राइमेस्टर में 450 सो इट इज ऑल अबाउट मॉडरेशन आप सब कुछ खाइए now this is where the third point comes for me which is an avoidance मैडम क्या खाना चाहिए क्या नहीं खाना चाहिए नारियल खाना चाहिए बैंगन खाना चाहिए आई ऑलवेज से अवॉइड जस्ट अवॉइड प्रोसेस्ड फूड प्रोसेस्ड ओके स्वीट्स अवॉइड करो प्रोसेस्ड फूड अवॉइड करो दैट इज ओनली गोइंग टू हेल्प यू और बाहर का खाना अवॉइड इज व्हाट आई सजेस्ट बाकी ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं होता है कि ये खाओगे तो गोरा बच्चा होगा बैंगन खाने से काला होगा गर्म होगा so this garam and thanda concept is more common in Ayurveda consultations, right? So I normally, in our diet therapy, we've never learned something as garam and thanda khana. Okay. Right? Everything is good if you are able to digest it. Okay. Everyone's digestion capacity is different. Some enzymes are different. So based on that, we decide whether the patient or the client should be given that particular thing in the morning or not, or at night or not. So moderation is the key. आपको अगर कुछ खाना भी है, मान लो कुछ क्रेविंग हो रही है, तो आप खाइए बट मॉडरेशन में खाइए स्वीट क्रेविंग्स हो रही है तो क्लब इट विद द मेजर मील व्हाई डू वी कॉल इट एज अ डेजर्ट आपने कभी भी ये नहीं देखा होगा कि आप किसी के यहाँ खाना खाने जा रहे हो पहले डेजर्ट सर्व होता है राइट सो ऑल दैट ओल्ड ट्रेडिशन दैट हैज बीन दैट वर बीइंग फॉलोड बाय आवर फोरफादर्स एंड ऑल उसके पीछे साइंस है कि आप कुछ भी मीठा खा रहे हो पहले एम्प्टी स्टमक खाओगे तो वो स्पाइक ग्लूकोज स्पाइक ज्यादा करता है वही आपने लंच के साथ बाद में खाया तो उतना स्पाइक नहीं करेगा सो ऑल दैट क्रेविंग्स एंड ऑल यू हैव टू डू इट इन मॉडरेशन वो मॉडरेशन में भी कब कर पाओगे जब आपने पहले थोड़ा पेट भर लिया है नहीं तो वही चीज आप ज्यादा खा लोगे बिल्कुल राइट सो मॉडरेशन इज द की frequency of the meal is also very much important what I talk about. So frequency is as in add at least 5 to 7 meals in a day. हर 2.5-3 घंटे में खाओ. And nuts and fruits and उसके ऊपर snacking करो. You can add yogurt and smoothies as a snack. Right? So ये सारी चीजें आप add करो. Hydration is the another point that I talk about. Pregnant females should at least have 2.3 to 2.5 to 3 liters of water. At least. Right? So to again constipation के chances जो बढ़ जाते हैं the more you go towards third trimester आपके constipation and all that बढ़ता है तो for that 2.5 to 3 liters is the minimum need for a pregnant women. So hydration is again one of the very important thing I talk about. And last is keep moving. Keep moving. I know. Right? So these are the fundamentals when I talk about pregnancy. कि nutrition तो है ही important उसमें हमने सारे point but lastly is moving. Because अगर आपने move नहीं किया gas, bloating and all that stuffs will dominate you. Right. So only if you have some spine-related issues where you've been suggested a bed rest or something, it's a different case. But if you can move as much possible.
True. Right. Because pregnancy is a journey. It's not a disease.
Yes, it's not a disease.
Yeah. So you have to treat it like a beautiful journey, which is an add-on to your life.
Yes,
It's like reaching a destination.
Yeah, it's like most of the time, if you don't be active, there are few hormones that will start dominating you, which can lead to postpartum depression as well later on. Because if the more you move, the more happy hormones you will release. Right, so it's very much important. So last thing when anyone asked me about pregnancy nutrition, the last point is keep moving, keep moving.
In fact, I was going to ask you कि pregnancy journey के दो बड़ी important factors हैं. One is of course the craving. So considering आप जैसे craving की बात कर रहे हो, whatever you're craving for, have it in small quantity. Besides that, I mean, nutrition wise, is there any particular advice you would want to give for cravings? The cravings होती है तो like how to deal with it in a better nutrition way या overall nutrition को कैसे better करें ताकि cravings कम हो?
Correct. So cravings usually दो reasons से होती है, especially during pregnancy and even अगर आप pregnant नहीं भी है तो ये reasons common है. Right. The first major reason for pregnant women to crave is the hormonal changes that are occurring. Right. So estrogen जब आपका बढ़ेगा या fluctuate होगा, you get sweet cravings and all that stuff. So वो हमें भी non-pregnant women को भी जब periods नजदीक आते हैं, they crave for sweets because of the estrogen fluctuation.
Okay.
Right. So that is one of the major reasons. The other reason is body is deprived of some or the other nutrient. अगर आपको salty craving हो रही है, मतलब आपको आपकी body में sodium का कंटेंट कम है. So try to have lemon water instead of picking up chip. Chips का packet लिया. Right? So your body always talks to you. Is what I always tell my clients. Your brain has a language. And it is trying to communicate with you on every minute basis. We just ignore it. Right. Right. So अगर आपको salt craving हो रही है, that means your body is low on sodium.
Right.
Have some नींबू पानी with salt, not sugar.
Right.
मुझे बोलते मैडम आप कैलोरी डेफिसिट खाना दे रहे हो तो हमको तो चक्कर आ रहे हैं, हमको तो चीनी बंद कर दी है तो हमको चक्कर आ रहे हैं. तो वो साइकोलॉजिकल है. आपका खाना जो आप खा रहे हो वो ग्लूकोज में कन्वर्ट हो रहा है, उसके लिए आपको एडिशनल शुगर की जरूरत नहीं है. सो अगर सॉल्ट क्रेविंग हो रही है तो आप लेमन वाटर विद जलजीरा ले लो या तो फिर सिर्फ सॉल्ट डाल के ले लो, तो यू फील बेटर. योर सॉल्ट क्रेविंग विल गो ऑफ. शुगर क्रेविंग इज नॉर्मली इफ यू आर कैलोरी डिप्राइव्ड. जैसे मैंने बताया कि सेकेंड थर्ड ट्राइमेस्टर में आपकी कैलोरी नीड बढ़ती है. तो अगर आप प्रॉपर सप्लीमेंट नहीं कर रहे हो कैलोरी की, तो बॉडी विल क्रेव फॉर हाई कैलोरी फूड दैट इज कमिंग फ्रॉम शुगर एंड फैट. राइट. स्मॉल पोर्शन में उसको 200-300 कैलोरी मिल जाएगी. 2 गुलाब जामुन हो गया उसका सेट 300 कैलोरी. इट विल नॉट, बॉडी विल नॉट सी, योर ब्रेन विल नॉट सी द वेयर दिस कैलोरी इज कमिंग फ्रॉम. उसको तो एनर्जी चाहिए, तो कहीं से भी वो मांगेगा. सो दैट ब्रेन इज tempting you to have that particular kind of food. So craving, a third very important point is if you are dehydrated. Right. So if you eat this, I almost talk in all my podcasts कि अगर आप dehydrated हैं तो आपको cravings होगी because the feeling of thirst and hunger is released from the same part of the brain, which is very near. The body is actually asking for water and you get confused that I'm hungry and you end up eating something. So पहले अगर craving हो रही है तो ask yourself whether you've had enough water or not. The moment you have some water, you will be done with your cravings. So these are small things plus small and frequently is a very important point I'm hearing.
First time अगर craving हो रही है तो पहले पानी पियो. हाँ. और देखो उसके बाद craving continue होती है कि
most of the time your cravings will go off. और आपने कोई mid meal skip किया है. जैसे मैंने बताया कि हर 2.5-3 घंटे में फेस करें. राइट. सो आप मान लो आपने 8:30-9 o'clock ब्रेकफास्ट लिया एंड देन till 1 o'clock you've not had anything. You will definitely crave post lunch. You will definitely, आपको कई बार, I don't know about you but many clients tell me that मैडम खाने के बाद ही मीठे की क्रेविंग होती है, लंच के बाद. And mostly when I add brunch around 10:30-11, that cravings may go away. So it's all about placing your meal. So that's where the fundamental of nutrition, when I said that frequency of the meal is very important.
Right.
That ये fundamentals जो मैंने बताया ना, if that is taken care of, all these cravings and all these things will automatically go away.
Yeah.
It won't really hurt.
This हमारे time then there was this book by Dr. Benjamin and Spoh, which was the Bible for pregnant women at that time, because the इस टाइप की इतनी अवेयरनेस नहीं, सोशल मीडिया नहीं था वैसे उस हिसाब से था. And I clearly remember that paragraph where I read that if you're craving for, say, a dal, it's basically plaque deficient is what you need. And I think that was something which stayed with me ever. Like, okay, craving actually is a more generalized term for a deficiency which your body is asking.
Yes. Your body is actually deprived or deficient of particular nutrient.
Yeah, उसी की craving होने लगती है. God, body has a beautiful way of telling.
Yes.
Like you were using when we were talking, you said mindful.
Yes.
So this is all about being very, very mindful towards.
Yeah. So I always tell my clients कि craving हो रही है तो सबसे पहले अपने आप को 3 क्वेश्चन पूछो. Stressed हो, periods due है, पानी ठीक से पिया है कि नहीं या कोई मील स्किप किया है कि नहीं.
Right.
ये 4 में से कोई एक रीजन तो होगा. स्ट्रेस्ड हो तो वो क्रेविंग्स आपकी ऐसे कम नहीं होगी. मतलब यू विल नीड समथिंग बिकॉज फूड इट इज समथिंग विच कंफर्ट्स यू वेरी सून, राइट. सो तब भी फिर माइंडफुली पोर्शन कंट्रोल. इफ इट इज स्ट्रेस इंड्यूस और हार्मोन इंड्यूस तो वो माइंडफुलनेस आपको पता होगा कि क्यों हो रही है तो आप अकॉर्डिंगली बिहेव कर पाओगे.
Like you're saying hormone induced, right? So if it's a hormone induced, which is pregnancy journey में तो बहुत fluctuations होते हैं, mood swings होते हैं, which are, we all know it is hormonal related, right?
Correct.
So you can take care of that also with nutrition.
Yes.
And then fluctuation.
Absolutely. So see, majorly supplementing one with the vitamin D supplements, okay, is also very important because vitamin D plays a very important role when we talk about mood and depression. Right? Most of the Alzheimer patients, you would see they are suggested vitamin D supplement, okay, for the slower progression of the disease. So vitamin D supplementation, again, the balanced diet is very much important. As I talked some time ago, quality sleep.
Right.
लोग रात को नेटफ्लिक्स देख रहे हैं, कुछ काम नहीं है, सुबह नहीं करना है कुछ, तो लेट्स चिल अराउंड एट नाइट एंड वॉच सम टीवी. सो दैट इज आल्सो गोइंग टू इम्पैक्ट योर मूड एंड योर irritability and anxiety levels and postpartum depression that we call. So with balanced diet, definitely you can very important thing to add in the diet if you are worried about postpartum depression is protein.
Acha.
Right, so protein, especially like beans and all that, those are rich in amino acid called tryptophan. Right, so tryptophan is a precursor of serotonin, which is a happy hormone. Right, so it converts that particular amino acid. Your body converts it into happy hormone. Right, so I always tell that each and every meal should have proteins. Okay, चाहे वो breakfast ले लो, lunch ले लो, dinner ले लो, and one snack. Okay, so try to be protein focused. That doesn't mean you should not have carb. Carb is equivalently important. Carb को club नहीं करोगे तो protein अपना काम नहीं कर पाएगा. So carb की जगह है. That doesn't mean I'm saying you should go off carb. But yes, carb जो आपका need है, मैंने बताया calorie wise 300, 350 to 450 बढ़ता है. But protein is equivalently important when we talk about mood swings and all that. Another thing I said was the vitamin D supplementation, good quality sleep, and again moving around. That is also going to, that releases the happy hormone called dopamine. So akela diet will not help. It's all, it's an holistic approach towards, taking care of your body throughout, not just from one direction.
Right. Like it's a 360-degree activity, like, nutrition, exercise, mindful wellness. Yeah, definitely. So एक बात बताओ, आजकल जैसे veganism, keto, ये सब चीजें बहुत prevalent हो गई हैं. So suppose somebody has been on such diet and very successfully maintaining good health, good energy, everything, but now they're in a pregnancy journey. Does this diet have enough nutrition for the baby, growing baby, and the mother?
Right. So veganism is a good concept. Basically, it's not a diet. I always tell any diet that has a name is not a diet. Okay, right? Veganism is a lifestyle to me. It's like, you can't even use leather purse, you can't even use honey, anything out of. So it was basically designed to stop cruelty against animals and all that, right?
Right.
So those who actually came forward and went vegan, when naturally on an anti-inflammatory stuff, मतलब वो कुछ high नहीं रहते, तो obviously weight loss होगा ही. That is how this concept of veganism for weight loss has come. Ideally, it was never meant for weight loss. It was for saving the animal cruelty. Right. So if we talk about vegan diet during pregnancy, it will definitely have many. If you design it well, yes, you can still be vegan, but then you will have to take support of a supplement. Right. So you will have to take, there are chances you might get deficient on calcium, you might get deficient on iron, you might get deficient on protein as well, right? And very important, vegan diet will never have a balance of omega-3, 6 fatty acids, which is very important for the fetal brain development. Right. We call DHA and EPA, which is a type of omega-3 fatty acid, right? It's very essential and we need to take it through the diet. Essential matlab body, no doubt कुछ linoleic acid, alpha linolenic acid is the fatty acid जो convert हो जाते हैं EPA and DHA में, but not as much your need is, right? So normally those who are into vegan diet, I suggest them to switch on an algae-based product. Algae-based like spirulina as a supplement, okay, which has natural DHA and EPA into it. DHA is, again, as I said, it's very important for brain development and all. EPA has, it can save you from preterm baby जो होता है delivery होता है, that you can save yourself. Preeclampsia can be saved with algae based or DHA or EPA based. Okay. Other multivitamin supplements are also available. I mean, omega-3, 6 fatty acid supplements are available, but they all are fish oil based. So vegan people will anyways not take that. So normally I'd suggest, so we can still manage the calcium, vitamin D and all that through the supplement. But managing omega-3, 6 ka balance, okay, is little challenge when it comes to veganism. Okay. Or vegetarian. Even vegetarian will fall into that. Right. So supplementing yourself with the right kind of omega-3, 6 supplement is very important. And in that case, the best one is spirulina. It's completely out of algae. Right. It's an algae basically. So you can have that. Okay. And a well-balanced diet with a lot of proteins, as I said. With carb to ho hi jata hai vegan. So a lot of protein and this DHA and EPA has to be taken care of. That should be the priority when you design a vegan diet plan. Okay. The rest you can get from the
otherwise also whether or and also in pregnancy.
Normal non-vegetarian and vegetarian people, if they're having a balanced diet, they can just add a fish liver oil, cod liver oil or something for omega-3, 6 supplement. And there are many mom and me kind of drinks available which has these omega-3, 6 ka balance maintained in that product. You can take a support of it, especially if you're a vegetarian or a vegan. Non-veg people don't need, they get everything from the food that they eat. Okay, if it is balanced. Okay, perfect.
So, talking about one of the major hurdles, gestational diabetes, another one which we keep hearing is eclampsia, right? So, why does this happen? What are the side effects? How to deal with this? And is it different from pregnancy-induced hypertension? Please sometime.
No, so preeclampsia is, yes, it is very much related to it's a gestational hypertension, if I say it in a simple language. And it is normally assisted with release of protein in the urine. Okay, right? So then it is known as a preeclampsia. The symptoms can be swelling in the feet. You would see many pregnant female have that swelling. Blood pressure would be above 140 mmHg, and that is where we should start, taking steps towards it. Again, if you're overweight, the risk to preeclampsia increases. Okay. If you're diabetic, again, the risk to getting gestational hypertension is also very high. So getting all those numbers into control is normally going to happen only with right diet. You can go on a DASH diet, which is low sodium diet. Okay. Right. So you can use some low sodium salt and all that. You can go for organic salts that are available in the market, and don't have a lot of leafy vegetables like those are those are high on sodium. Okay. Like spinach and all. And try to reduce that. I mean, if you do that, cook it in a way that few oxalates and phytates also have to be removed. So keep it with a closed lid and do not add salt additionally on that. So that kind of a sodium restriction will definitely help. And maintaining the weight. As I said, if you already overweight and you conceived, always maintaining your weight till 5 months of pregnancy will help. Right. So with the right diet, DASH diet goes well with it. It is just the low sodium diet that we do, and hydration again. Yeah. लोग बोलते swelling है, पानी भर गया तो पानी कम पियो. It's other way around. If you have a lot of potassium rich food, so body में potassium sodium का pump होता है. Right. So if your sodium levels are high, increase your potassium level. So balance करने के लिए
the potassium rich foods are like
सौंफ है, नींबू है, vitamin C है, but banana, so banana and all that. So you increase all that stuff in your diet. The body will naturally maintain करने के लिए you will urinate a lot and your swelling will reduce along with this. So it is manageable. Eclampsia is a very eclampsia. It is a upgraded version of it, wherein the risk to the fetus increases.
Okay.
Right? So normally उतना high level होता नहीं है. Right? So preeclampsia is the first stage of it.
Okay.
Right? So if taken care, it will not lead to any
manage.
Yeah, it's manageable.
Okay, nothing to be scared of. Okay, but
Word is scary. It's nothing but hypertension.
yeah.
वैसे में जब
Just be aware of.
So kidney में जब वो protein release होना शुरू करता है is when we should be more careful. Right? If it is normal hypertension है, it's because of weight. Majorly it's because of
the symptoms would be the swelling in the
swelling in the feet, kidney में protein का release होना.
you take kidney में protein का release हो रहा है.
Blood test.
कुछ वो तो blood test.
blood test.
So the first symptom probably would be the swelling in the feet or just over
palpitation होना and all these are the signs that you might be having high blood pressure.
Okay. So
it's just nothing but a high blood pressure. You don't have to worry, but yes, it is manageable if you take the right step at the right time.
And when you're talking about these leafy vegetables, मुझे एक point ध्यान में आपने mention करा था salads के बारे में, right? Prebiotic and probiotic section में. So generally pregnancy में बोलते हैं ना raw food मत खाइए because of
constipation है तो भी raw नहीं खाना. It is always saute or in the soup form.
Okay, so when you're talking about salad, it's either sauteed or it's just soup. Yeah, that's what I wanted to has करके specify because then you don't want people to start eating salad and having like
it has to be sauté, especially for females. I mean, those who are vegetarian, they can toss it up in an olive oil. A bit of olive oil that will help them get a little bit of good omega as fatty acids.
Okay,
which we were talking before. So they can toss it with little olive oil, a very little. फिर ऐसा नहीं कि profile के डाल दिया.
So coming to these kind of issues, what I'm thinking is, gestational diabetes is like a very huge thing in today's time, right? So आप मेरे को बताओ ये क्यों होता है, इसको कैसे avoid किया जा सकता है, या हो गया तो how can we take care of it?
Correct. So as I said before, I always ask my client to lose extra kgs before they even head towards pregnancy. Because जितना weight ज़्यादा होगा उतना आपका insulin resistance ज़्यादा होगा.
Okay.
Right? And insulin resistance anyways बढ़ता है during pregnancy because of the hormones that are released in the placenta for the fetal growth.
Right.
उसकी वजह से भी आपकी body में anyways naturally insulin resistance आता है.
Okay.
On top of it, if you're overweight, if your eating habits are not correct, if your lifestyle is गड़बड़, रात को ज़्यादा जग रहे हो, जिसमें insulin actually सोना चाहिए, आप जग रहे हो तो उसको काम करना पड़ रहा है. Right? So ये सारे जो shifts आते हैं तो वो dominate करता है. Right? So factors that dominate is weight and wrong lifestyle. But जो कई बार ऐसा भी होता है कि कोई female overweight नहीं है फिर भी आता है. तो उस केस में it is the hormonal changes itself within the body that could lead to gestational diabetes. Right. But if taken care of a right diet and exercise, it might not lead to any complications. Okay. Right? But then again, balanced diet with a low GI food is very important. When we talk about a gestational diabetes, maintaining the blood sugar levels in a normal range is a must. Obviously, नहीं तो उसका impact fetus पे आता ही. Right. So we talk normally about eating on a low GI diet, again high protein, which is important. मेथी खा सकते हैं, लोग बोलेंगे मेथी नहीं खानी है, miscarriage हो जाएगा, ऐसा नहीं है. So as a functional food, you can always add those things. So gestational diabetes is very different than type 1 and type 2. Okay. अगर आपको पहले से है तो डायबिटीज आपका बढ़ेगा ही बढ़ेगा. अगर आपका once you have conceived and if you're considering the overweight, it becomes a risk factor. Right. You will definitely get it. Okay. And if it is related to the natural hormonal changes that like body releases cortisol and other kind of estrogen and all that. Right. Because of which insulin resistance develop naturally होता है. बिल्कुल. So उसको control करना है तो again walk करो. Right. Walk करते हो तो आप insulin resistance को कम कर पाते हो because when you walk you release a hormone called adiponectin which acts like insulin. Okay. Right? So वो blood glucose level को control करता है. with the right balanced diet, as I've been saying since I've come here, with the right exercise, just walking 30 minutes post meal will also help. 15 minutes every meal is what I normally suggest to all my clients. Here we cannot club rice and roti together. You have either roti and rice. You can switch to more of, I never suggest multigrain roti. मैं एक ही चीज बोलती हूँ, भगवान ने ग्रेन साथ में नहीं उगाए तो साथ में खाने क्यों? सही बात है, right? So one grain at a time. One grain at a time. Okay, so if you can choose jowar. So these millets definitely are good for diabetes because those wheat se comparatively वो glucose spike कम करता है. So you can have, but then I have few clients जिनका millet से भी spike होता है. So again, it is not a one statement suiting to all. I mean, it's not one statement fit for all. Right. But you need to do trial and error and proper, uh, record for all the blood sugar that you take, readings that you take should be maintained. And based on that, आपका सारा diet change होता है. Okay. Means अगर contributory हो गया, then you should be very particular about all the readings so that you know the dietary changes जो आप कर सकते हो और इस चीज को control कर सकते हो. As you mean nutrition से this is possible. Yes. अगर आप बहुत mindfully इस चीज को monitor. Yes. Right. And in case जैसे अभी मेरे कुछ patient है already overweight है and conceive किया है and there is a risk. They are afraid that हो गया तो क्या है. So I always tell them that first 3 to 5 months, just focus on maintaining the weight where you are. Right. Don't let it gain. आपका जो बेबी वेट है वो एक्चुअली बढ़ेगा लास्ट ट्राइमेस्टर. तो हम देखते हैं मैक्सिमम फीमेल 10 किलो तो 6 महीने में गेन कर लेते हैं. तो वो आप बच्चे का वेट नहीं हो रहा है गेन, वो आपका फैट गेन हो रहा है बिकॉज ऑफ द रॉन्ग ईटिंग हैबिट्स एंड द लाइफस्टाइल. So my suggestion to all those overweight pregnant female who are worried of getting a diabetes, gestational diabetes, should make sure that they eat such balanced diet with the right exercise, basic walk and all, to maintain their weight at least where it is for 5 to 6 months till the second trimester. Yeah, this is, I think, a very important thing which everybody should be aware of. Ki, during the time of pregnancy, how to maintain the ideal weight, which is perfect for the growth of the baby as well as for the mother to be. Correct. Right? So, uske liye you would design a special diet or? It's a balanced diet again. So, as I said, first trimester में अगर मेरी client ने join किया है मुझे आज, ठीक है, वो 1.5 week बाद मुझे 1.5-2 week बाद मुझे बोलती मैडम I have conceived. Now, what changes do I make in my diet? I will tell her simply continue this for 3 months. No change. Right. I might add some supplements based on her blood test if she's low on iron, if she's low. So the other fundamental of the nutrition that I tell to all my pregnant female is do not have supplements if you don't need them. क्योंकि डॉक्टर ने ये सजेस्ट किया है, वो सजेस्ट किया, मार्केट में ये मिल रहा है, चलो डॉक्टर ने सजेस्ट किया तो डेफिनेटली कुछ सोच समझ के किया होगा. बट देन बिकॉज some brand is promoting as mother care. Think without doctor's advice. Nothing without that. अगर आप balanced diet ले रहे हो, ultimately you don't need any kind of a supplement. So don't take supplement if you don't need them. Is what I suggest. Right. No, I think that's very important कि बिना अपने medical practitioner की advice के, बिना अपने nutritionist की advice के, if you have one, please do not experiment and take anything, which is absolutely right. Yeah. Yes. And towards the end, like आपने पीछे mention करा था, constipation, and which sometimes lead to piles, right? So, how can one avoid it? And God forbid if it happens, how to manage it ताकि ये complications ना हो. So, constipation के लिए सबसे important चीज is hydration again. Okay. As I already said, at least 2.5 to 3 liters आपको पानी पीना ही पड़ेगा because the fiber need is at least 28 to 30 grams per day. Okay. तो फाइबर को बल्क बनाने के लिए पानी तो चाहिएगा. Plus because of the fetal movement and pressure on the intestine and other hormonal changes, constipation naturally होने ही वाला है. उसको हम सिर्फ रोक सकते हैं. Right. So, we can prevent or we can even deal with it with the right water intake, with the right nutrition and a lot of prebiotics and probiotics in the diet. So prebiotics is all the salads that we usually take, and probiotics is more of curd, yogurt, buttermilk and all that stuff should be there in the diet plans, which normally लोग नहीं खाते कि बच्चे को ठंडा पड़ेगा, दही नहीं खाना चाहिए, छाछ नहीं पीनी चाहिए, ठंडा होता है नेचर में, सर्दी हो जाएगी and all that. तो वो हाँ अगर विंटर है तो डेफिनेटली नहीं, वी कैन ऑलवेज गो फॉर सम प्रोबायोटिक सप्लीमेंट्स एट दैट टाइम इफ यू आर नॉट कंफर्टेबल हैविंग कर्ड ड्यूरिंग विंटर्स. But then you should add all these kind of food in your diet to prevent your constipation. Iron deficiency अगर नहीं है तो unwanted iron supplements ना ले because that also could lead to constipation.
जो शुरू में लिए थे, was compulsory. Beyond a certain
Yes, if you're having a balanced diet, you get it from green leafy vegetables, beans. If you're a non-vegetarian, you can have it from that as well. So, if not needed, if your hemoglobins are pretty good, no need to take extra supplement. Your need is 8 milligrams per day. तो वो तो अगर आप बैलेंस डाइट खाओगे, नो डाउट दी एब्जॉर्प्शन डेफिनेटली हिंडर्स. तो आप मान लो कि अगर आपको सप्लीमेंट नहीं लेना है कॉन्स्टिपेशन की वजह से, ऑलवेज क्लब योर आयरन रिच फूड विद विटामिन सी. That will improve the absorption of your iron, right? So हमेशा आयरन को विटामिन सी से क्लब करो. जैसे आपने अगर पालक की सब्जी बनाई है तो उसके साथ कुछ ना कुछ खट्टा, आप जैसे या you can make a पालक sandwich and have it with lemon water. Okay. Poha with lemon water is a very good combination to get good iron need for the day. Right? So poha is rich in iron. This very less people know. ये हमको first मुझे अभी भी इसलिए याद है because I was also surprised when my teacher taught me on my first year of education कि पोहा के साथ आप ये क्लब करो, and there are many research that prove.
Yeah, in fact, of late, this is one of the things which is really coming up, the combination foods. Yes, combination very much. जो आज तक काफी unawareness थी इस बात की, of late ये चीज बहुत साइंस सामने आ रही है कि जो combination foods है वो एक दूसरे की properties को enhance करके आपको राइस.
अभी I have clients जैसे वो breakfast में सीरियल भी ले रहे हैं, जूस भी ले रहे हैं, फ्रूट भी खा रहे हैं, दूध भी पी रहे हैं, आधे घंटे के गैप में सब कुछ कर रहे हैं. तो आई हैव टू टेल देम दैट बॉस कीप अ गैप एटलीस्ट फॉर 2.5 आवर. हर न्यूट्रिएंट का एक अब्जॉर्प्शन साइकिल होता है, हर एक का कॉम्बिनेशन. हर एक न्यूट्रिएंट ऐसा भी होता है कि किसी में ऐसा कंपोनेंट होता है जो इसका न्यूट्रिशन को हिंडर करता है या अब्सॉर्प्शन नहीं होने देता है, इनहिबिट करता है. तो इनहिबिटर्स भी होते हैं. तो राइट कॉम्बिनेशन इज वेरी मच इंपॉर्टेंट. लाइक इफ यू आर टेकिंग अ सप्लीमेंट, आयरन एंड कैल्शियम सप्लीमेंट ले रहे हो, like I talked about iron and vitamin C, they goes hand in hand. Iron and calcium will not go hand in hand. उसको absorption करने के लिए जो element चाहिए वो दोनों उसके लिए fight करेंगे. Ultimately दोनों ही body में absorb नहीं होंगे. Calcium पहले हो जाएगा because वो win करता है. Right. I'm just saying it in a very light way now language. So it's very important. So iron and calcium should always be placed 6 hours away from each other. Yes. Okay. So ये combination spot important है.
Can you I mean, this is so interesting. Can you like just आपने बोला पोहा and नींबू पानी. Can you just give example of few good combination?
Good combination. Normally, see, protein का आपकी बात करें तो you should never have eggs alone.
Okay.
Right. Always club it with either oats or a multigrain bread. If it is a multigrain, you need to check the label, or a whole wheat bread. So always club protein with carb.
Okay.
Always club some minerals with vitamin C for better absorption. So there are a lot of, I mean, ये दो मुझे एकदम से click हुआ है इसलिए मैंने आपको बताया.
Right.
But then there are lot many combinations that you can take care of. Pregnancy के लिए तो ये बहुत typically ये दो चीजें तो बहुत ही जरूरी, because iron calcium supplements तो suggest करते ही करते हैं. Now there are, मैंने बीच में एक रील बनाई थी, उसमें मुझे बहुत सारे कमेंट्स आए थे कि मैडम मैक्सिमम मल्टीविटामिन जो लेते हैं हम उसमें तो सब कुछ एक साथ ही होता है. सो what do you say or what do you have? So I always say that yes, it should not be like that.
Okay.
Right? You should always take it separate. उसमें दूसरे मल्टीविटामिन्स तो अब्सॉर्ब हो रहे हैं, but iron calcium definitely impact होगा. And no doubt the content is very less and it is not going to harm you, but it is not going to benefit you as well also.
Okay.
So it's always good. Constipation point of view से अगर आपको concern है, although there are some ferrous form के जो iron supplements आते हैं, that won't lead to constipation, but it's always better अगर hemoglobin आपका normal है, so don't take and use these combinations that I suggested.
Okay. Yeah, and this was very knowledgeable. That combination foods कोई importance दे कि उसकी understanding I think is very
yes. अब मुझे एक और strike हुआ because I'm just trying to make it. So अब जैसे बोलते पालक पनीर,
हाँ,
पालक iron है and paneer is calcium. So you should ideally not have palak paneer.
Oh, imagine. And it's such a popular Indian dish.
Yes.
So it's a wrong dish to make. And so
I would not say it's a wrong dish. We are not just eating that for iron and calcium stuff. It has lot many other nutrients also. But if we talk about iron and calcium, palak paneer is not a good combination to have.
So at least pregnant women please don't have palak surgery.
You have palate surgery separate and paneer ki sabzi separate.
Absolutely right. Yeah, absolutely. No, it's such a
Especially for one dealing with anemia or lower hemoglobin levels, these things would definitely help them.
Right. Well, this is some amazing knowledge we've gained today. Some new pointers we have come across, and thank you so much for all this. So tell me one thing: would you like to sum it up with some very special advice for the uh, people who are on this journey, planning this journey? How would you encapsulate the whole thing and say it?
So see, pregnancy is like, if I talk about myself also, it is a new beginning for not just mother, also for a father, right? So being nutritionally well before even planning is very much important, because whatever DNA and whatever genes you are carrying is going to be transported to your your kid and all, right? So taking care of you is very important, and taking care of yourself holistically is very important. Not just getting carried away with the supplements that are available in the market, not just getting carried away with all those healthy products that are in the name of pregnancy food. You should always read labels. If you are like जो pregnant working women होती है जो pregnant, they go for easy food, right? Which is again a challenge for them. But then you should always read labels. So talking about nutrition and exercise, it has to be holistic. Mental well-being is also one of the major thing that you should be focused. Very major, very important, right? Because that if that is not at place, you will not be able to do diet and exercise. True. The first thing for me comes is the biological clock, which I always tell to all my clients: set your circadian rhythm. रिदम नेचुरल होता है आपकी बॉडी का, उसको आप सेट करो. ईट ऑन टाइम, स्लीप ऑन टाइम, एक्सरसाइज ऑन टाइम. ये 3 चीजें आपको डेफिनेटली करनी है. आप प्रेग्नेंट है या नहीं?
राइट, दैट इज फॉर अगर ये सब लोग करने लगेंगे तो बात ही क्या? There will be no doctors needed, nobody needed.
Summing up, it is for me, it is more towards, taking care of yourself.
Right.
360 degree.
360, the holistic approach.
Yes.
Which is like, yeah, you're right. So the takeaways today is, I remember on one of the podcasts, our gynecologist, she said, आप plant का बना हुआ खाना मत खाइए, plant से निकला हुआ खाना खाइए, right?
Correct.
So it should be plant-based and not off the plant.
Yes.
So that was, I think, which is exactly what you are saying. And like you said, having a holistic approach of your nutrition, your exercise, your well-being, which can be taken care of with yoga, meditation. There's so many forms. Music.
Yes, music is the best thing to do.
Right.
Yoga, so especially for those who are anxious around it. ऐसा होता है कि घर में कोई stress नहीं है, but still वो pregnancy की anxiety इतनी ज़्यादा होती है that they end up harming themselves in other way. So it's better to stay connected with nature is what I always suggest. Nature, music, all these things definitely.
Absolutely.
In diet and exercise.
Like you said, the holistic approach.
Yeah.
The well-rounded holistic approach. So all those people who are planning pregnancy, who are already pregnant, and their supportive families and partners, please take care of the 360-degree holistic approach, basically towards life. And then the journey with automatically these good habits inculcated in the long run is going to bring out a child which will already have been born with these habits, because this is what the child is genetically inherited. Like हमारे आचार्य जी ने बोला था, ये एक जन्म की बात नहीं होती है. 3 जन्मों की imprints हैं जो आपके बच्चे में आते हैं. So go for a healthy lifestyle, go for mindful living, and best of luck to all of you for your smooth, beautiful journey to have a divine child. God bless and take care.
So about this hereditary, I always tell, people say that obesity runs in the family. I always say it's because nobody in the family runs.
I think it's a beautiful sentence that obesity runs in the family because nobody in the family runs. This is beautiful. It's very aptly put. Actually.
Yes.
I think it's very aptly put.
जैसे आपने भी बोला ना कि you carry the genes and you're forwarding it other generation. Right. So सब बोलते हैं कि हमारे तो diabetes present. So no doubt 20% dominate करता है.
Yeah.
Diabetes and all that hereditary part करता है, but 80% is what you do to yourself.
Thank you so much, Shweta ji,
Pleasure.
for your invaluable time, invaluable sharing of knowledge. Thank you.
Blessed to have you.
Pleasure. Thank you so much.